I have questions about the origin of the Muppets now because of this whole thing. Like, I wouldn't even be offended. I'd be like, that's hilarious. Tattoo it to me. These aren't offensive to me, so I just find the words funny. Some of these may have been yelled at me. Sometimes they may have been at other people on the street, but you'll never know which one it is. British people do insults so good. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, and if it's not a welcome back and you're new around here, I am Yvette and I moved to London about 3 months ago, and these are my observations of London life. Check out all my videos next to me or below. One of my favourite things about UK living is the language. Now I know that sounds silly because they speak English and I speak English, and a lot of you guys who follow me all speak English, but it's funny knowing the intricacies between cultures. And so one of my favorite ones is, obviously there's different words for different things, you know, flat and apartment or lift and elevator, all these things, but my favorite discrepancy between the languages is insults. British people do insults so good. They have the best insults. And so in this video, I just wanted to give you my top, what do I even have? My top 10 favorite British insults that I've learnt since living in London. Some of these may have been yelled at me, sometimes they may have been at other people on the street, but you'll never know which one it is. I'm not going to cover off obvious ones like wanker, twat, twit, you know, everything you know if you've kind of watched any British TV. These are the niche ones because they're just so creative in their insults, and I love that because I know Australians tend to go to the obvious swearing ones, and America obviously loves conventionally very literal people. That's fine and great, but Brits just have such a creative streak with their insults, and I love it. So these are my favorites. So, a lot of these insults are very offensive and demeaning, a lot of them to women, but I'm here for the lols and the funny words, so don't take this one too seriously. If you are at all offended to language, don't watch this video. But if you're here for a laugh, because none of these words mean anything to me. Words only have power that you give them. So these aren't offensive to me, so I just find the words funny. Number one is trollop. It is, from my understanding, a slut. So you'd be like, oh, she's a trollop. Like, she's a slut, or don't be a trollop, I guess. I don't know. I could definitely be using this in the wrong sentence, but I find that one funny. Trollop, it's like strumpet. It's very Shakespearean. Definitely gonna pronounce these wrong, it's so bad. Number two is Weissach, or Weissach. So that means you're dumb, apparently. So don't be such a Weissach, or you're being a Weissach. I'm not sure, but Weissach. That sounds, if someone called me a Weissach, I wouldn't even be offended. I'd be like, that's hilarious. Tattoo it to me. Number three, this one's a bit more infamous, but I put it on anyway because I still think it's funny, is Amia. And so this is one of the ones I was referring to earlier that is a little bit offensive because it's basically just an unattractive woman. So you're just calling someone a minga, like, she's not even hot, she's ugly. Just ignore her, she's a minga. You're like, so if you get called a minga, it's not good, guys. Number four, I think, is my favorite one on the entire list because I could probably see it taking off in Australia, and that's why I love it so much. It's called Billy Nomates. So if you're basically sitting in the, so if you're in the schoolyard and you're by yourself, someone will yell at you that you're being that you are Billy Nomates, or that you're Billy Nomates. I think it's hilarious because we had, I don't know if this translated to England, but we had Nigel, which is so weird because it's just a name, but if you were a loner, you were called, or like, is that even a thing? A loner? Yeah, loner's a thing. I was gonna say, is that an Australianism that people don't know? No, loner's a thing. Yeah, you'd get called a Nigel, whereas in English you'd called Billy Nomates, which I think is so much funnier. I think I'm gonna be like, every single one of these is my favorite. But number five is Muffet. I've been trying to incorporate this into my language because I think it's fun calling someone a Muppet, because when you call someone a Muppet, I imagine, you know, Miss Piggy and the frog. What's his name? Kermit. I don't know how offensive that is, but if you're like, oh, stop being a Muppet, or you're a Muppet, or they're a Muppet. I don't know how, after the, like, who named the Muppets? Are they named after the like being, are they, I have questions about the origin of the Muppets now because of this whole thing. I think they're American, so probably not linked, but maybe. Number six, if you're not well or you don't look good, they'll say you look like death warmed up, which I thought was funny. It's a bit visceral, that one. Like, if you think about it, death warmed up, you look like a dead person, just a bit warmer. So, definitely not a compliment if they say you look like death warmed up. I'd love to know where these came from. If you're British, do you use these terms, or are these just like random things that come up on lists? Because I know for Australia, they'll be like using, you know, billabong and like outhouse and uru is like words and slang that we use, but I don't know anyone that uses those terms, so I'd be interested to know if British people actually use these terms or if it's just, you know, just for the tourists, just to trick people like me into thinking that this is how you swear. And it's actually just a joke, because it sounds more like a joke that you would call someone a Muppet, to be honest. Number 7, I found, and I thought it was funny. The term is laugh like a drain, which is so funny to only me, because if you've heard my mum's laugh, you'll be like, oh, I completely understand where that saying comes from. So the saying is laugh like a drain because essentially a drain is like saying you've got an unattractive laugh, basically. Can I do an impersonation? My mum's got a very loud laugh, and then even if she doesn't laugh and it's like a subdued laugh, it's like, which does kind of sound like a drain. When you let the bath out. I used to think I'd get sucked down the bath when that happened. That noise scared me so bad. And now I'll think of laugh like a drain every time I hear that noise when if I ever get out the bath and it makes the noise. I'll be like thinking of that insult if you have a loud, obnoxious laugh. Number 8 is similar to my Muppet one. It is numpty. I just think it's cute and endearing. If someone called me a numpty, I'd feel it was like more like, ah, you fool, like not an aggressive, like I wouldn't yell out my car numpty, surely. Maybe people do, I don't know. It seems so cute and nice, like an endearing way to call, like when your husband or someone that you does something silly and you're like, ah, you're numpty, don't be stupid about putting the dishwasher on, you know, not a serious one. That's what I feel anyway. Tell me if I'm completely wrong, because I probably am. Number 9 is probably, I questioned putting it on because I was like, this is definitely one of those ones that falls into the isn't okay now and maybe was okay back in the day. It's called a big girl blouse, which I've never heard before, and I think it means like uncommitted, unstructured, messy, I think. Could be wrong. So it was like, don't be a big girl blouse or something like that, or you're being a big girl blouse. So like an overweight person's shirt is obviously like unstructured and blah blah blah. And yet, completely and utterly unoffensive these days, but I thought it was bizarre and too weird not to mention. Definitely sexist, because why does it have to be a girl? Big guys can have unstructured blouses too. A lot of these insults are just ones that give me really funny imagery, like Death Warmed Up or Billy Nomates. My last one is like that also. My last one is mad as a bag of ferrets. For Americans, mad is like crazy. It's not angry. I know that's a cultural thing. So mad as a bag of ferrets is literally like ferrets in a bag going crazy is like saying someone's crazy and unhinged, basically. That just makes me laugh. I don't know if that's bad of me. I'm a vegan and I'm laughing about ferrets in a bag, but is that too far? I don't know anymore. So, but yeah, so those are my top 10 favorite and weird British insults that are not in the UK or Australia, that are not in the US or Australia. So tell me in the comments below what your favorite weird British insult is, because there are so many. And like these were the ones I could think of on top of my head, but I know there are ones that I can't remember that like during a Brexit thing, the Scottish often have a good insult. Like they'll just so creative and it's so weirdly unoffensive. It'll be like a donkey's anus or something. Like it's not a swear, it's just an anatomy part or something. I can't remember. Tell me your favorites in the comments because they're great. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and remember to hit subscribe so you can see what other content I put out, because clearly it's gold. Just telling you my favorite insult in a video that'll definitely get demonetized. So thanks so much for watching. Bye.